Today, we're going to learn more about photogrammetry. Photogrammetry is the science and technology of obtaining reliable information about physical objects and the environment through the process of recording, measuring, and interpreting photographic images and patterns of electromagnetic, radiant imagery, and other phenomena. Wow, that is a mouthful. But to put it simply, photogrammetry uses photographs from different vantage points and works similarly to our eyes to obtain depth and perspective. This technology enables us to take objects from the physical world to the virtual one by automatically modeling them from us. As you can see in this picture, I've taken a small object that I found on my desk. Through photogrammetry, I was able to model it and use recap photo, which created an exact copy of it into the virtual world of this small little teapot I had on my desk. Photogrammetry is often used in architecture, especially in preservation or refab projects where there is already an existing structure and the architects and or builders just want to add on to it. This technology can save thousands of hours of tedious modeling of something that already exists in the physical world, like Little Piggy. Photogrammetry is also used in virtual tours, which in this day and age have become increasingly common. And this is a virtual tour that I've been showing you by Zach Ziebel for the Trinity Art Department. For this project, you will need a few things: a camera or a phone, an object that you want to photograph, and then the software, Recap Photo, which you can download on your computer if you're not a Mac user. So if you have a Windows computer, you can go ahead and download it, and I will show you shortly how to do so. Or you can come along to the makerspace and use one of our computers. So I chose this teapot, and a really brief parenthesis. According to passive cha, teapots are small clay figures used during gong fu cha for various purposes. Most often, they're used by tea drinkers as decoration, but also for good luck or to test the water if it's at the right temperature. If you pour boiling water on this little piggy, it will change color, and according to the color it becomes, you will know if the water is right to correctly infuse your tea leaves. So enough of this parentheses. Let's get started. I've already selected my object. I've already taken all the pictures that were necessary for recap photo. For this very tiny object, which is 2 inches by 1 inch by 1 inch approximately, I took 86 pictures, so a considerable amount. I took them in a very methodical way. So let me annotate this for you. So I started at the top, and then I took 4 to 5 pictures of the entirety of the object, from the top to the bottom. And I worked my way around, moving my body rather than the object. So I went all around the object and made sure that I could see the little piggy from all these different vantage points so that the software could compute the figure three-dimensionally. And so here it is. Another thing that I found really useful was using a high contrasting surface where I placed the object I wanted to photograph and take my picture. And that was able to let the computer understand what was the object that I was trying to emulate and what was the surface all around it. Okay, so to download Recap Photo is quite simple. Just Google Autodesk Student or Education account, and you can go ahead and click on Student Software. It will ask you to log in, and here are all the programs that you can get for free. You will find it under Architecture, Engineering, Construction, and I believe it's at the very end. Here it is. And you go ahead, get started, and follow all the directions to log in and then download the software. Okay, so now whether you're at the makerspace or whether you have Recap on your computer, we can go ahead and open the application. So probably the most important thing that we do as soon as we log on to Recap Photo, especially when we're using the Makerspace computer, is to ensure that we are logged in with our own account, because once the project is complete, we will receive a notification. So say if Ryan is doing a project and he's working on it and it takes 5 hours, and then I'm logged on to Recap Photo, I will get notified when his project is complete. So how does it work? Autodesk Recap Photo helps users create a high-resolution textured 3D model from photos using the power of cloud computing. Rather than beginning with a blank slate, Autodesk Recap now enables any designer, architect, or engineer to add, modify, validate, and document their design process in context from existing environments. So once again, this tool is super powerful. So as you can see, I've already tested out how to capture Piggy correctly, and I will show you how to start from afresh. So we go and select object, and you can click anywhere to find your files or folder. There is a minimum of pictures you have to insert in order to for the computer, or rather for the cloud, to create your design. And that minimum is 20. I've tried only with 20, and it wasn't successful. Like, wasn't even able to process it and to create a successful model for me. So the more pictures, I'd say, the better. So let's go ahead and add those pictures that I showed you from my Google Drive. I've downloaded them on this computer. Go ahead and do that as well. Select them all and click open. And here they are. I can choose to add more pictures or delete some if I wanted to. I can also view it, enlarge the picture and view it here. Click create. And then we can name our project. I'll call it Piggy. And then I will select auto crop because it allows you to cut the surface, for example, of the background or the extra surface of the carpet that we don't need. So it gives us a little bit more help. So why not? And let's go ahead and click start. As we can see, it's uploading Piggy. It will take a few hours and you will receive an email once it's ready for you. So you can go ahead and work on some other projects in the makerspace, or simply go home and then come back, whatever is best for your schedule. So now that the computer is generating our little model, I can go ahead and show you a few failed attempts that didn't work out for me. Okay, I've organized all my failed attempts on my Google Drive for you to see. But really quick tip that I forgot to mention before, if you're taking pictures from your phone and your phone has a Google Drive on it, it's really easy to just upload all the pictures that you've taken of the small object, put them on your Google Drive, and then access them from any Makerspace computer. But here's the first object I tried to use photogrammetry on, and it's my water bottle. Here I mixed two different attempts, but they both didn't go through at all. And I think the reason why for the pictures with this surface, it was because the surface wasn't high contrast enough. And overall, one of the errors was that I took too few pictures. I think I took maybe 20 at max. Whereas for the second project, or rather the second object that I tried to use photogrammetry on, it was a different water bottle that I just had laying around in the makerspace. And I took way more pictures, about 56, I believe. And I did use the same technique of the high contrast surface with this carpet I found in the makerspace. However, it didn't work out, I think, because the bottle is too symmetrical. And although the surface was high contrasting, I think I could have used it better. And so this is how it turned out. it's not not the best. We definitely wouldn't want to 3D print this. It's exploded and very distorted. So yeah, definitely you should take more pictures than what I did. Okay, so fortunately in this video, we won't have to wait 5 hours for our model to appear. I went ahead and created it earlier, and here it is. So you can go ahead and click download. It will appear on your computer. And let's open it up. And here it is. Here's Piggy, or rather a model of it. And I would say it turned out really, really well, so I'm satisfied with it. There's a few things that we can do. See, the auto-crop feature worked well because it allows us to not have to crop the whole background, but we still have to do some. And this is how you do it. You go on Edit and choose Slice and Fill. A disk will appear, but don't worry. You can simply pull it down to save your model. So if you pull anywhere inside the disk, it will move this way. Whereas if you simply want to bring the disk up or down, the slicing disk up or down, you have to touch outside of the ellipse, or rather on the line. So we can go ahead and start slicing some. My recommendation is before you cut, you spin around the object to ensure that you're not doing something weird like cutting your object at a weird angle. So we can fix that by doing this. Here we go. There we go. And maybe a little bit more. So we can go ahead and start slicing. And this will take a few times with rotating the ellipse and really fine tuning to cut out all the pavement. So here we go. To get this part out, we can angulate it like this, apply. Always make sure that you're not cutting through your object. Watch out. See, for example, there I was cutting through a little bit. Apply. And so on and so forth. So I went ahead and continued slicing on my own. And this is the final result, which I'm super satisfied with. I think it turned out really well. Could have used some extra pictures for more details here, but overall I'm satisfied. So the final things that you could do is you could analyze it, detect and fix any model issues. Let's go ahead and do that just to be safe. I detected no issues, so that's perfect. And then the last thing we will want to do is to export it, export model. And we want to export it as an STL, so we'll be able to 3D print it. And you can also reduce the face count. However, for Piggy, I want a very high face count because I want to get as much as possible all the details of its face, although probably will not be possible. I can go ahead and click export, select the folder I want to save it in. And now we just have to go and choose one of the many 3D printers we have available in the makerspace. And you can ask either one of the student workers or one of the technicians which 3D printer is most suited for the replica of your favorite object. And then as you try this project, don't forget to, if you do any modifications and they work out, of course, we're not experts, so please do share them with us. We want to know more about your process. And don't forget to write up your experience in the Slack channel.
Thanks for listening.